Welcome back to the final round of the Pokemon Labs Premier Challenge. I ran out of plushies, so I resorted to Pokemon Go. Here's the load tab to use my co-caster right now. There you go. In this final match, we have Scott, Felver, and Alayna, also known as Allie, the Decidueye girl, Zach. And in this match, this is going to be very exciting because these guys are known players around here in SoCal. They definitely are very interesting to watch, and it's also in part, the excitement of this match is also in part because we are going this is 2-2 so far each one, so whoever wins this is going to go 3-2. They're still in this, but if you lose this match, it's over, the game is over, so the pressure is on for both of the players. It's going to make for a very entertaining match. Scott's going to be running Kyogre Ludicolo, very common lead there thanks to Ludicolo's Swift Swim. We're going for the double darks with Yveltal and Incineroar, and Tapu Lele, Aegislash of the final two Pokemon. For Allie, we got Crobat and Incineroar, Yveltal, Tapu Koko, Stakataka, and Kyogre. Allie's team very well suited to handle either speed scenario, having fast Pokemon such as Tapu Koko and Crobat, and slow Pokemon such as Incineroar and Stakataka. Definitely go, and Kyogre can go either way, and Yveltal for that matter can also go either way. It's definitely a very versatile team in speed. Scott carries some slower Pokemon such as Aegislash and Incineroar, but his team definitely has that speed with the Ludicolo Kyogre lead. That is something that has been extremely common. It's died down a little, but it's still a very it's still a very prevalent lead and combo in this format. So will Scott go for that lead? Will Allie go for, she's got really two possible ways to set up the speed. Stakataka could carry Trick Room. Crobat carries Tailwind most of the time. We're going to see, there's that Ludicolo. Kyogre lead from Scott's side. We're going to see Kyogre Crobat from Allie's side. I love seeing nicknames out here like Ducky the Ludicolo. I don't know why I love that so much. It's a really good name. It just makes me laugh. Either way. And also really cool seeing like Ishtar. I hope I pronounced that right from Allie's side. Always really fun seeing nicknames on here. But regardless, we know that Ludicolo, it's got that fake out. It's a very common move. It's one of the most common moves in this whole format. And there's, with that protect on Kyogre though, we now know that Allie's Kyogre does not carry. Oh, Allie's Kyogre does not carry a choice item, and we also will see Crobat going for the Citrus Berry here on that item. We're gonna see Water Spout come out from Scott's side as well, and because that moved faster than the Crobat, that means that this Kyogre most likely is Choice Scarf. Actually, I lied. It is Choice Scarf. There's no way that I could outspeed Crobat without that Choice Scarf. So now knowing that Scott's team is insanely quick, Ludicolo did not use Fake Out. Crobat has Inner Focus. That prevents it from being flinched. So going for Ice Beam instead was a good play there, because instead of doing a little bit of damage with Fake Out, Ice Beam was able to just go straight on that Crobat, and the combination of that and Water Spout was able to get rid of it on this turn. Allie going for the Yveltal now. Yveltal has got a lot of options, just like so many Pokemon in this format, like Kyogre even. It is such a versatile Pokemon, carrying moves such as Tailwind, Snarl, Knockoff, Dark Pulse, Sucker Punch, Oblivion Wing, Protect, Taunt. So many options on Yveltal, it's so hard to predict. We're going to see Incineroar switch in, lowering Yveltal's attack stat. And while most likely Yveltal is a physical attacker, that is something. Oh, but Yveltal going to protect this turn, so we won't see what type of attack it's got so far. And we're going to see Ludicolo going for the Grass Knot onto Kyogre. That's not going to be a knockout, and that also means Ludicolo does not carry the Life Orb. Life Orb Ludicolo and Assault Vest Ludicolo have been the most common two items on it. With this, you can assume either this Ludicolo is going for something very weird, or it has the Assault Vest. Another option that possibly could be with that is maybe a Pinch Berry, such as the Iapa Berry, which will recover Ludicolo's health, but we don't know. We won't know until someone actually attacks Ludicolo. And regardless, Ludicolo is still the center stage right now because it's fastest on the field, regardless of what happens thanks to the rain. We also saw that this Incineroar was, oh, we're going to see a switch out from Kyogre. But Incineroar, I believe, was able to switch in this last turn, so it does have Fake Out. Ali bringing out her own Incineroar. That's going to lower Scott's Incineroar's stat, or attack stat. That is very crucial. Incineroar now has so many resistant moves. We're going to see Fake Out that will go on to the Yveltal, and we're going to see that Ludicolo go for Ice Beam onto the Yveltal. Not quite enough to get it down all the way, but it is over 50%, and with Ludicolo being at a very high speed, it definitely has the ability to finish it off on the next time it can hit with it. But Ali's Incineroar switching in this turn now means it does have Fake Out in play. It can prevent Ludicolo from attacking, and Ludicolo is also weak to flying type attacks. Yveltal, sometimes it carries it, sometimes it just goes for dark attacks. Occasionally it'll have Oblivion Wing, but we're going to see Ali's Incineroar go for... We're going to see a double protect from Yveltal, but you know the Incineroar protected too. So double protect from Ali means that Incineroar does not carry the Assault Vest. That is one of the most popular items onto it. And that's very interesting because the most common fourth move on Incineroar is U-turn, but seeing protect as someone who's played Incineroar myself, I can say that is definitely a very useful play, especially when you have stuff like Ludicolo, which can threaten you with Scald on the field. But it's definitely unexpected in this format. So Ali coming out with that unusual Incineroar. In this scenario, we still have Ludicolo at the top. We are going to see the switch out from Ali's Yveltal going back onto Kyogre at the yellow health, so it will take. And we're gonna see Scald from Ludicolo, so it's actually that's gonna go on to the Kyogre slot though. Regardless, Kyogre gonna eat its berry. That is the pinch berry. Kyogre now goes down from its red back up to over 50%, and we will see a knockoff. We're going to finally see what this Ludicolo item is. Knockoff did a lot of damage, and it is the Assault Vest. That is the item from Ludicolo. Knockoff onto the Kyogre won't do a lot because the berry was eaten. And the rain being out of play means that we know the fastest on the field, most likely Kyogre. Unless the Kyogre is a bulky one, Ludicolo might be able to outspeed it. But there's a good chance Ali's Kyogre will be front and center when we begin this turn here. Ludicolo... And we're going to see, actually, Ludicolo is the faster one, and we saw that Grass Knot do over 50% earlier. That means that Ali's Kyogre is gone. And now Scott has that. We're going to see Ali's Flare Blitz going to go onto Ludicolo. That will be enough to take it out for good. And now we're left with Incineroar versus Incineroar. It's like looking in a mirror. We're going to see Knockoff. We're going to reveal the item from Ali's side. That was the Pinch Berry, the Aguav Berry. That Pinch Berry means that now Ali's Incineroar cannot recover any health. And we're now 3 on Scott's side, 2 on Ali's side. In terms of the amount of Pokemon, we know that Scott has, I believe, Tapu Lele. I believe we saw Tapu Lele earlier. Now I'm blanking. No, we did not. I'm sorry. We saw the Kyogre lead. With Ali's side, we know that we're going to see Scott go for that Yveltal here, and we're gonna see the other Yveltal from Ali's side there. So now we are really in a mirror match. Like, literally, both Pokemon are facing each other and everything. It's crazy. We saw that Scott's Yveltal barely outsped Ali's at the moment, and with so many dark type attackers on the field, dark resists dark, so all those dark moves are they're not going to do very much damage at all. And especially with Ali here, who's just got those 2 last Pokemon. We're going to see Protect from Ali's Yveltal. However, Dark does resist Dark, but Scott's Yveltal going for Tailwind wants the speed advantage here, especially when you're up against something super similar. Knockoff coming off from Ali's Incineroar does a lot of damage onto Scott's, and there goes Scott's Figgy Berry. Again, a Pinch Berry. Flare Blitz going onto Ali's Yveltal. Don't forget, Yveltal, it does resist Dark, but no, it does not resist Flare Blitz from Incineroar. So Incineroar is able to hit that Yveltal hard. Can't protect this next turn, and it's got that Tailwind set up on Scott's side, so he's definitely put himself into a good position. However, Ali's Incineroar does threaten Scott's Yveltal with that Flare Blitz, doing a massive amount of damage and possibly burning it, removing any physical attack. But it's going to protect this turn, so let's now see. We're going to see Sucker Punch from Scott's side that onto the Incineroar. It is a knockout thanks to a critical hit. Ali getting the knockout on Scott's Incineroar was a really That was amazing. That was completely unexpected, especially the Incineroar was at around what looked like a third or a quarter of its health left. More like a quarter. And dark on dark is hard. However, now Scott has a good advantage against this Incineroar because Kyogre's on the field, and that's a water type. Kyogre and under Tailwind, it's a good combo because Kyogre's able to launch a water spout before it loses any damage. That does a massive amount, especially in the rain. We have seen Protect on both of the opposing Pokemon here from Ali's side. And for the opposing Pokemon on Ali, for Ali's opposing Pokemon, we know that the Yveltal, if it only carries dark moves, Sucker Punch going onto Ali's Yveltal. But Ali, we know that. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought because we saw a knockoff from Incineroar first. I'm actually surprised. I don't know how that happened. I think I missed something. And with that, I believe it was a knockoff from Incineroar. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That was interesting. I might have, with that was a really, really well played there. I might be wrong. No, yeah, I don't know how that happened with Kyogre being under Tailwind as well. Unless we saw Ali set up a Tailwind, which I don't remember seeing. Very, very well there. And the Sucker Punch coming out from Ali onto Scott's Kyogre. Oh, we have just gotten into a very interesting scenario here. And with that, although it was very interesting, Yveltal versus Yveltal finish, but Ali, we now see Ali had the black glasses on her Yveltal. And with that, Ali is going to take a loss. Scott's going to take a win. That was intense. That was a very, very mirror-matched game. We saw Incineroar and Yveltal and Yveltal, and I'm very impressed with the way Ali played her Sucker Punch. Excuse me. The Sucker Punch really helped remove that Kyogre last minute, gave a little bit of a chance there to stay alive with that Yveltal versus Yveltal. Was also able to crit out Incineroar, and that was a really exciting play. So definitely well done job to both players because neither one did bad. It just was a matter of who can get in the opponent's head a little better. And that's just how Pokemon works. It's it's a lot of times it can be luck based. A lot of times it could be, oh, I made a mistake that I didn't know until the very end of the game. And sometimes you can play it all correctly, but your opponent just somehow outmatches you. There's nothing that you really can do to prevent losses in Pokemon. No person is immune to that. But that is why these games are best 2 of 3. And, you know, if Scott wins this, he's got a shot at making top cut. If Ali wins this, we go to a third final game. Don't forget, the winner of this match will go into... They will have 3 wins to 2 losses. That's a chance for top cut. The loser will go 2 wins to 3 losses. There's pretty much a 0% chance. There's not pretty much, there is a 0% chance you will make it to top cut there. So this match is crucial to get into the finals. And here we go. Let's get into this next matchup right now. Let's see if Scott, he led with Kyogre Ludicolo in the last turn, and he will go for that again, going for that same lead. Ali will go for, I believe that is Incineroar and Yveltal. Double dark lead this time. Oh yeah, it's a bit different than the lead we had the last time. We saw Crobat on the last match. So now with this in mind, we're going to see that Kyogre does outspeed Yveltal, meaning that it's most likely Choice Scarfed. I don't actually know if we saw the knockoff onto it. I think we might have in the last round, and that revealed the Choice Scarf. And now, in this case, Scott has Fake Out, Ali has Fake Out. There's no real way we can see a cross Fake Out in which both of the Fake Outers go for the opposing Pokemon that cannot use Fake Out, so Kyogre and Yveltal, and we get absolutely nowhere at the end of the first turn. Or we could see maybe Scott, you know, he's the quicker one. He could go for a Fake Out on Incineroar, try and get that out of the way. Or he could go for the attack onto Yveltal. We saw that in the last round. That was a good... Getting that Crobat out early with thanks to an Ice Beam from Ludicolo was a good play there. But we're going to see Scott switch his Kyogre into Incineroar. That lowers the attack stat of both of Ali's Pokemon. And we're going to see Ali switch out her Incineroar for Kyogre. I believe that was Kyogre. Yes, very hard to tell with the nicknames, but still, I do enjoy saying the nicknames. Fake Out coming out, it went onto the Yveltal slot, and it was a critical. Well, that was a critical hit. Fake Out's not meant to deal damage, but we pretty much got nowhere, like I said, except we do have a different scenario here. Yveltal now missing a little bit of its health, and by a little, I mean like very, very little. But that's not important with Fake Out. The important thing with that Fake Out was, in this case, wow, Ali going for another switch back into Incineroar, possibly trying to intimidate Scott's own Incineroar, prevent it from doing a lot of damage, and especially Flare Blitz in the rain doesn't do a lot of damage, and then the Dark move is resistant on both of Ali's. So we're gonna see Fake Out though. That Yveltal is not gonna get to move. Grass Knot coming out from Scott onto the Incineroar. Incineroar, pretty light Pokemon compared to Kyogre, and also resists grass. So that was a very good switch in. I'm sorry, I think I said it was from Scott's Incineroar. It's from Ali's onto Ali's Incineroar. Very good switching by Ali because that Kyogre in the back, not going to get hit very hard, or was going to get hit very hard, but it doesn't because it switched into that Incineroar. The rain is still up, so Ludicolo is still fastest on the field. Then I believe is Yveltal. We have seen Fake Out, I think, in every single turn of this match so far. This is the Fake Out match. Yveltal getting its first move finally. And not quite a knockoff on the knockout on the Ludicolo, but using knockoff. And now we're gonna see the removal of the black glasses from Ali's Yveltal, and we have, again, we're in a good. We've pretty much gotten a neutral scenario. 3 out of the 4 Pokemon on the field are Dark type. I bet any Xerneas user would love to see Ali's 2 right now, but Scott doesn't have Xerneas. So again, Ludicolo, same thing as last time. Ludicolo's fastest on the field, then it's Yveltal, and then the 2 Incineroars. I don't know if we know who's faster because we've only seen Fake Out between the 2. And especially when it comes to Incineroar, you could go either Brave Nature, Adamant Nature. Those are usually the indicators. It's the nature what decides your Incineroar speed. Yveltal, we are back in a mirror match today, everyone. Yveltal reinstated the Dark Aura that was already on the field. Seeing a switch out from Ali's now we're not in a mirror match because we're going to see Kyogre come back out from Ali's side. A lot of switching in this match so far. There's the Flare Blitz. Although it's in the rain, it still does more than knockoff. And that does a decent amount and also has the chance to burn, but it's not going to get that burn right away. And we're going to see a knockoff onto Ali's Incineroar. We saw that had the Pinch Berry last round, so that means Incineroar cannot recover anymore. Definitely something that you would want. You don't want to have that Incineroar all of a sudden eating its berry when it's down to like 1 HP. That is one of the most annoying things you can have. So removing it early is a very good job there. In this case, we haven't seen any hit, I believe, on Scott's Incineroar. We have, or Ali's Kyogre. So they both are able to function like they just came out onto the field. And that's especially useful for Ali's Kyogre, with Water Spout being the most common move on Kyogre. You really want to we're going to see Sucker Punch onto Kyogre. That is the only thing you got to be wary of. So let's see. We're going to see Thunder, though, from Ali's Kyogre, and that means it's going to hit that Yveltal. 100% accuracy, super effective attack, and that Yveltal's gone. So Scott, that Yveltal, he's got one of his restricted legends removed. Knockoff onto Ali's side. We're going to see the Mago Berry. That is another Pinch Berry from Kyogre. Now down to just a little bit of health. And I don't know if Scott's Yveltal had that Sucker Punch. But you know what? Ludicolo does have Fake Out. Yeah, Ludicolo, it does no longer have the rain boost. But that Kyogre, it's not only threatened by a grass type, it's threatened by Fake Out as well. So the Fake Out, right, with that might be enough. Although we saw the Fake Out do very little onto Yveltal earlier in the match. We're going to see the Yveltal Protect from Ali's side. Like I said, we saw the Yveltal. We're going to see a double Protect, so the Fake Out's gone completely. Let's see what Scott can do, though. He is going to Fake Out onto Kyogre, so that was definitely the way that he was thinking. And the Flare Blitz onto Yveltal. Now I believe it's a matter of who is fastest. Kyogre is interesting because it can run either a modest set with max in HP and special attack, or special attack and speed. And then you also have modest, like I said, or the special attack and speed set usually, or sometimes carries, I believe it is Timid Nature, which lowers the attack stat and raises the speed. I always forget if it's Timid or Jolly. That's something I still need to look up. Both of them raise speed and lower one of the attacks. But regardless, Kyogre is out of the question right now as Ali switches into her Incineroar. Intimidate, definitely going to cripple Scott's Incineroar a little bit there. And we are going to see Scott's Incineroar switch out into Kyogre. So we pretty much... Yeah, Intimidate, that did pretty much nothing. We know Ludicolo is a special attacker. And Scott setting his Rain back up so Ludicolo can finish this match with a sweep here. And Sucker Punch going to come out onto Ludicolo at 14 HP. There's no way it's taking that. It is gone. So now, even though the Ludicolo's gone, I believe we saw last match that Kyogre carried the Choice Scarf. But Ali just switched into Incineroar. And we're going to see Scott go into Incineroar. This might be a matchup of whose Fake Out hits first. A Fake Out from Incineroar on Scott's side. Being able to prevent Ali to Fake Out would be really nice, but Ali going for the Fake Out on Kyogre will allow the double attack onto it, getting it down to a little health. And if you carry Water Spout, that's a pretty bad. That's bad. That's almost like it's almost useless if you've locked onto Water Spout. You could end up carrying Origin Pulse or Scowl. Those are two other water attacks. And luckily, if Scott is Fake Outed, he will be able to choose it. If he is Fake Outed and flinched, we're gonna see a flinch, this time going on to the Yveltal on Ali's side. And we're going to see Kyogre go onto the Thunder, onto Ali's Yveltal. That is a knockout. And that Yveltal is gone from Ali's side. And now we are left. However, if that Kyogre does, and we're going to see knockoff, let's see if that Kyogre is scarfed. Yeah, there's the Choice Scarf. That's a bit of a... That's actually, that knockoff might have helped Scott a little bit. We know that Kyogre has a naturally faster speed than Incineroar, and having that plus the Scout, now it allows it to go for Scout, Origin Pulse, or whatever move it is. If it's Origin Pulse, that might be able to take out both of Ali's, but Scott does have that advantage. But Ali has the advantage of having another Pokemon in the back. She's up to 3, Scott has 2. So, and we're seeing once again a mirror match, Kyogre versus Kyogre and Incineroar versus Incineroar. And we just saw the Kyogre switch in from Ali, and without the Choice Scarf, who is going to be the faster one is now the question. We're going to see a Protect from Ali's Incineroar, and Scott's will go for the Thunder onto Ali's Kyogre. And with that, Ali's Kyogre is gone. Scott has evened the playing field with 2 Pokemon to 2 Pokemon. And don't forget, if Scott wins this, he will win the round and has a shot at continuing to top cut. That's the top 8. Each person in the top cut also receives championship points this season. So there is a shot. We're going to see Ali's final Pokemon for the first time. It's Stakataka. Not necessarily the best place to be in when it's weak to water and there's a Kyogre fastest on the field. If it survives, it might be able to pull off a Trick Room set. It can't get intimidated, so it's at max. It is at max Rock Slide. If it carries Rock Slide, it's the most common move on it. Sometimes I have seen Stone Edge. Either one of those 2 moves is going to do a good amount, but it's going to protect itself this turn. Oh, that might be a changing play. We're going to see Kyogre. It's actually going for Thunder onto the Stakataka. Knock off onto the Kyogre. It did have its Choice Scarf removed. Doesn't quite do 50%. Double attacking Stakataka. On Ali's side there. I don't know what Scott is going to do. He seems to be fastest on the field, and with Stakataka not being able to attack, he has that advantage. But if Ali can set a Trick Room, that might be the deciding factor. This could go either way. It's a matter of what each person thinks. This is an intense match. Kyogre goes for Thunder onto... This can go either way, and it's going to go onto the Stakataka like we saw in the last round. Not quite 50%. Knock off onto the Kyogre. Going to do 18... Leave Kyogre with 18 damage. Knock off on the Stakataka. Is not a knockout. Safety goggles are gone. Rock Slide coming in. Double hit. Full attack. And with that, that Kyogre is gone. Scott down to his Incineroar with just a little less than 50%. And Beast Boost is going to raise the Stakataka's defense. So we now know Stakataka did not sacrifice his defense stat to get the attack boost from Beast Boost. Ali, in this case, has the upper hand with 2 Pokemon, in addition having something that is super effective against Scott's Incineroar. Oh my goodness. That was an intense... That was such an intense last turn. I'm fired up. These Incineroars are fired up too, I'm sure, because Ali's is using Flare Blitz. The Flare Blitz Rock Slide combination will be enough to knock out, but Rock Slide can miss. And we're going to see Scott go for the Flare Blitz first. Flare Blitz neutral damage onto Stack Attacka, but it's not a knockout thanks to the defense boost. Rock Slide will hit, and Ali is going to take this game 1-1. We're going to the final match of the, sorry, I'm so excited I can barely speak. We're going to the final match of round 5. Whoever wins this next game has a shot at top cut. Whoever's out is out. Oh my goodness, I have to breathe now. That was, oh my goodness. That was one of the most exciting matches I've seen on stream, on anywhere. That, with Scott having the typing lead, Ali having the lead in numbers, it came down to who played what. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. I can't comment on that match besides, wow, this is gonna make well, you know what I can say? That last round is gonna make this final game very exciting. All right, we saw the Ludicolo Kyogre lead from Scott both times. That didn't work out the second time, but it did on the first. Ali led with a different lead last time, going for the double dark lead with Incineroar and Yveltal. But led with Crobat on the first turn. Did not have Stack Attack on that first game. That definitely wow, Scott, I just realized he's been standing by. He is ready. Scott is absolutely ready to play. Let's get this started as soon as Ali has locked in her runs. This is gonna be an intense match. One thing that I have been really enjoying is the mirror matches as well between Incineroar and Yveltal. And yeah, it could be a little stale seeing the same Pokemon, but when they're up against each other, you don't know what's gonna happen. A lot could too. We know that I believe we've seen knockoff on every of the 4 dark types. And knockoff, seeing those items, getting knocked off is very fun because you could take a look at. Oh, we're gonna see a different lead here. The 2 Pokemon we haven't seen from Scott's side, Tapu Lele and Aegislash. Ali reverting back to Tapu Koko and Crobat. So now with this in mind, this Koko is either fastest on the field because it's holding a Choice Scarf, and Lele, we know Lele doesn't have the Choice Scarf, or both the Tapus are holding the Choice Scarf. We also saw Psychic Seed Aegislash. Very, very smart strategy that prevents it from the super effective knockoff, gaining the attack boost thanks to its item being gone. While we have Tapu Lele able to hit off a super effective psychic attack onto Crobat, and we also saw Crobat earlier, it carried the Citrus Berry and not the Focus Sash. We're going to see Crobat switch out. It does not want anything to do here with that Tapu Lele. Yveltal switching in, so if the psychic attack went onto the Crobat slot from Tapu Lele, there's no way it's going to hit. We're going to see a Volt switch from Tapu Koko onto the Aegislash from Scott's side. Ali now allowing, with that switch, to get into a better position. And we are going to see, I believe that was the Stack Attacka. Yes, it was that Stack Attacka. It's hard to memorize with nicknames. And the Psyshock, it did go onto the Stack Attacka, but it does resist it. It also, with Psyshock, it takes the physical defense of the Pokemon, and with physical defense... Oh, but a Sacred Sword coming out! Oh, went onto the Yveltal slot though. That was a possible knockout onto the Stack Attacka if it hit. But... Now, anyway, back to the Stack Attacka. Oh, I can say it was hard. I think I said it was hard with the nicknames to figure out who's coming out. In this case, either the Tapu Lele or the Yveltal are going to be fastest, depending on what the set is. We know that Lele and Yveltal both have similar speeds with 95 and 99 space speeds, and those two are so similar. If you decide to go for a bulky set, you're going to be slower. So in this way, you can't really bank on being first for both players. Going for that King's Shield, and if Yveltal ends up going for an attack onto the Aegislash, it'll get a nasty -2. Protect coming out from Stack Attacka. That means it can't protect on this next turn. Knockoff from Yveltal will go on to Tapu Lele. Knocks it down to the Focus Sash. Lele also showing its Focus Sash, and a Moonblast from Tapu Lele onto a Yveltal at half health. There's no way it's taking it. Yveltal is gone from Ali's side. Scott, looking over the table, he looks pretty happy about that. All right, with that in mind, Scott now does have a good advantage removing a restricted legend. That is a key, and knowing that Ali does not have another restricted legend, we saw Crobat and we saw Coco earlier. That means Scott, if he has a restricted legend, that's very, very useful, because if you're up against a team without a restricted, it's hard. You're using a team when your restricted is knockout is extremely hard in a format where so many Pokemon rely on restricted Pokemon, just like so many Pokemon or teams last year relied on Mega Evolutions and Z Crystals. This year, restricteds are that, taking the role of that. Psychic Terrain is now removed for the Electric Terrain. Good switch in by Ali, kind of using the Crobat slot as bait for a Psychic attack. And with Tapu Koko in the field, it does do over 50%, but it's able to take it. Now, the move I think we've all been waiting for. Is this Aegis going to go for that Sacred Sword onto the 4 times weak Stack Attacka? Stack Attacka takes it, and it's able to pull off a Trick Room. Stack Attacka coming in. And Ali now in that weird position where you have we saw this earlier on stream, you have a Pokemon, Tapu Koko and even Crobat, both of them work, where they are both fastest on the field normally, and you have a Pokemon, Stack Attacka in this case, which is slowest on the field normally. And now you have pretty much the exact same, like I said, you have the same speed control now. You're going to be fastest and slowest at the same time. So knowing that you're able to kind of adjust your plays better, counting on taking some hits from, and we're going to see a switch out from Tapu Lele. Scott going to bring out his Kyogre. We saw last round that has a Choice Scarf. That Tapu Koko does threaten that Kyogre with a Thunderbolt. Let's see if it ends up going for it. Rock Slide coming out onto the Aegis Slash. Don't forget, Aegis Slash does not have very good defenses, but it will take the Rock Slide. Critical hit as well. Gyro Ball coming out. That Gyro Ball, especially on Tapu Koko at half health, is going to knock out Ali. Now down to her last 2 Pokemon, Crobat and Stack Attacka. And in this case, the Crobat, it is going to be faster than that Kyogre in Trick Room. Kyogre, we know, has the Scarf. It hasn't selected a move yet. We don't know. In this case, Scott has an upper hand in numbers with the 4-2. But in speed, Ali has the lead there with that Gyro Ball. Or, I'm sorry, not Gyro Ball. Stack Attacka in Trick Room. It could go for Gyro Ball. That is... and we're going to actually see it protect this turn. Gyro Ball, very common move on Stack Attacka. Though, I don't know why I said that, because I don't know if that would be a good play with 2 things that resist Steel on the field from Scott's side. We're going to see Aegis go for the Protect as well. Super Fang coming out from the Crobat. Good play, because that will remove 50% of Kyogre no matter what. And a Thunder in the Electric Terrain from a Kyogre with a massive special attack stat will take out the Crobat. It's going to be the Stack Attack. Can this wall take these hits, carry its team to victory? Or will Scott be able to win with his team of 4? In this case, Stack Attack is quickest on the field, and a Rock Slide. There is even though it's very unlikely, there is a possibility that Ali can take this. Rock Slide is key. Rock Slide can flinch. Rock Slide does enough damage. Oh, okay, we're gonna take the Rock Slide still though. And we're gonna see that stance change. Unless this flinches, we know it has Sacred Sword. There's the Sacred Sword. Scott Felver gonna take match 5. An intense finish to a very intense final match of Swiss. Oh my goodness. I can't. I have to breathe after that. That was one. I have to breathe after that. What an intense finish to this match. Swiss round is over, and what we've seen so far, there are so many people who have hit 3-2. That anyone with 3-2, 3 wins, 2 losses, still has a shot at making top cut. But you're gonna find out the top 8 after this. Stick around.